All right, so I want to talk to you ladies today about name, image, and likeness. I want to talk to you about gymnastics, about your sport, about yourselves. Where we'll start really though is because we want the fans to know who you are. Can you give us your name and really what made you pick gymnastics? You guys are really competitive athletes. You could have picked a lot of different sports, but you picked gymnastics.
I'm Luisa Blanco, and funny story, I was actually a soccer player. I came from a soccer family, so I wanted to be different. And soccer season finished, my mom was like, I gotta get her off the couch. So she stuck me in the gym, and I started at 6 years old, and here I am, still going.
I'm Kaylee Quinn, and I chose gymnastics. Basically, my mom said when I was younger, I was just flipping a lot at home, and so she got scared and put me in a class, and ever since then, I just fell in love with it. And again, like, it was my passion. I never chose anything else over it.
I'm Jordan Paradise, and what made me do gymnastics is my mom was a gymnast. She was an elite, so I kind of like to say it was in my blood.
Yeah.
But when I started, I was just kind of that kid. I just fell in love with it. For Christmas, I'd ask for bars, beads, just mats. I was always flipping at home, and it just holds a special place in my heart because I've just always loved it.
I'm Corinne Badagan, and my mom put me in gymnastics because I used to like climb her cabinets when I was little. Didn't really have it like in the family. I was the first, but I was an energetic child, so she wanted some kind of outlet for that, and I fell in love with it once I started doing it and kind of just stuck with it.
So let's get into the meat of it here. You guys are in a sport that requires year-round training, 20 hours a week in the gym, but you're also students, right? You're balancing a full course load. What's it like being really a nationally competitive athlete at the same time as being a student?
Well, you definitely have to learn how to manage your time.
Yeah.
It's because when you don't stay on top of things, it becomes very stressful, and
Yeah.
so that's where it helps. Like, we kind of all built a routine at the start here so that you just kind of keep up with everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of hours and a lot of hard work because once you finish practice at 5 p.m., like, there's other things we have to do. We have school, we have to study, we have homework, and so it's a full-time job. It really is.
Sure.
But it's worth it. We love it, so.
No, definitely the discipline aspect of it comes into it. You have to find like any moment free in the day that you have to do your schoolwork. I know like we would have lift in the morning, so I would go to lift and then I'd go to class and then I'd have a free period and I'd do homework and then I'd go to practice. So it's like you kind of just alternate throughout your day, like doing schoolwork and gymnastics.
There's really no stopping point. It's just go, go, go.
And then you go to bed and do it all again the next day, right?
Oh yeah, same routine.
Nothing to add?
No, that's the thing about being an athlete. You learn to make sacrifices, and you learn that, some things might have to give. You learn maybe I can't hang out with this person, or maybe I necessarily can't do this because I have to go to practice, or I'm about to travel, or I got to get my schoolwork done. So I think that's the coolest part to me about being an athlete is you learn to make those sacrifices, and you learn to time manage, and you learn to put what's most important first. And again, like she said, like if I was an athlete, I literally do not know what I would do with all that time, because it's like school, gymnastics, and anything outside of that, we're probably together. Like that's how much being an athlete like takes up our entire life.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't know how other students, like, whatever they do, congrats, I guess. But no, I really don't know what I wouldn't do if I was an athlete.
All right, so let's shift our conversation to NIL, talk about that a little bit. What was your reaction? And weirdly enough, we are 6 months to the day since the announcement came down that you guys could now benefit from your name, image, and likeness. For anybody that's not familiar with that, NIL, we'll use that for short for the rest of the conversation. What was that day like, learning that you were going to be able to benefit finally from your celebrity as athletes, from just your athletic ability and other brands wanting to engage with you and have you represent them? What was that like?
I'd say for me at first it was like super exciting, but also so confusing. I was like, so what does this mean?
Right.
So kind of just like going farther into it and learning more about it from different like websites and just like news that would come out about it, and hearing from different companies and kind of just seeing what different places had to offer. Like, it was just super exciting to see that, things that you probably couldn't do in the past with your collegiate career, you can do now, which is really exciting.
I was so happy. I was like, finally, because I feel like a lot of athletes, like, we work so hard in the gym and out of the gym, and it's like, there's scholarships, there's being able to compete for your school, but it's like, well, what else do we have, like, to show for our work? And I think this is a really good opportunity, especially for those athletes who, this, like, being an athlete is their only way of going to college, and people who, may not have as much from their home or their background. I feel like this is a great opportunity for those people to, like, really make a difference in their own life and in their family's life, and, really just, I don't know, just, a change. So I think that's really great. And again, being able to represent brands and as a young athlete, and not wait until, oh, I have to go pro, especially for sports like us, because there is no NFL for gymnastics.
That's
so
right.
This is like our version of going pro. So.
Right. Your only opportunity really to make money off of being an athlete anyway.
So for me, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. When it first came out, I didn't know how I felt about it. I thought it would change the aspect of college gymnastics. I thought it would take away the pureness of competing as a team, and as representing your school, you're doing this for something bigger than yourself, not your name, but for the script A, for the state of Alabama. But as it's kind of developed, I've seen that that's not the case, and that I was wrong. And I think it's become something so incredible. I mean, I know so many elite athletes that either chose to go pro at 16 years old, 15 years old, and now don't have the opportunity to go to college on their scholarship where they did have that. And then you have others who choose maybe go to the Olympics or have a big name, and they choose not to go pro because they want an education, a further education. And it's a decision that you have to make, and just in the sport of gymnastics at such a young age. It's like, it's decisions that you probably shouldn't make till you're in your mid-20s, and you're making them at 13 to 16 years old.
Right.
So I think that this has given this sport specifically an incredible opportunity to kind of have the best of both worlds, to be able to achieve your best in this sport and then be benefited by going to college and doing it now for not just yourself, but for your team. But also, you worked hard. You worked your butt off those years before, and you can earn off of that now. So I think it's a really cool thing, and I think that the way that it's developed has been really nice and like a breath of fresh air for athletes to kind of do. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
Got it. So, I mean, that's something that frankly most fans don't realize, is that you guys as very young athletes have to make a decision, because if you go to the national team or if you go to the Olympic team, you're done. Until NIL changed, there was no option to be competitive at the collegiate level once you made that decision. And that's, to your point, a really big deal within women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics as well, but it's not something most people even realize. It's a decision you guys have to make. Yeah. To your point, very, very young age.
I mean, I had to make that decision when I got approached, and I was 15 years old, and they were like, you have this opportunity right now to, there's some companies that would work with you, and they'll, they want you to kind of go pro. And then I was like, well, I put all my life into this sport, and I put school aside, so I probably need the sport to go to college.
And honestly, on the flip side of that, I wasn't elite. I just went the JO route. I just was level 10 is what that is in club. And so that's kind of something for me, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. So again, like I said, this is my decision. And, it's kind of, for other gymnasts that are like me, it's kind of giving you more time to think about what you want to do, especially if you're getting an offer from a company who you think you might want to do something like that in your line of work down the line. And so now you're older, you're able to make that decision. You're able to kind of set your life up as you go. So again, on the flip side of that, me not really having the opportunity to go elite, that would be an opportunity for somebody like me to have the opportunity to put my name out there as a gymnast.
And that's the cool thing about NIL, is that no matter if you were at the top of the sport or you were 8, 9, 10, it doesn't really matter. It benefits everyone so equally. And like she said, we grew up very differently in this sport, and we're both going to benefit equally from this place, which I think is so cool that happens like that. You know, it's not just, oh, well, because you were a national team member and you weren't, they get this and you don't.
Right.
It's so equal and it's so nice and very fair, and I really like that about it
I
a
love
lot.
that it kind of gives everybody
Yeah.
an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially because, you know, different companies, they look for different
They-
things.
they
Yeah,
do. That's
exactly.
absolutely true.
That's to me, that's the most, what's the word I'm looking for? That's the most comforting thing, like, for me. Because, especially if, you know, you're not one of those people who may not be, like, the top name on a team.
Right.
But a company.
Doesn't always matter.
Right, it doesn't always matter. A company
Right.
might look for a specific type of person that's not that
Right.
top name on the team.
Yep.
So, again, like, everybody can benefit from it equally.
I was very excited because, you know, since there's no like NBA or like NFL for
Yeah.
gymnastics, like there's nothing else you can do to like pursue gymnastics after college. You know?
Right.
So, yeah, I was very excited about the opportunity to be able to like get deals and stuff and make money for our talents and hard work. And, yeah.
Up to this point, though, like as you guys made the decision to go down the path of gymnastics and go down the path of collegiate gymnastics, because that's frankly a decision you had to make several years ago, probably with considering either national team or even Olympics. As you've made those decisions and you're now in the collegiate space, you couldn't, up to the change that they made around NIL, if you were a musician, if you were, you know, an author and you wrote a piece that got published, you couldn't make money off of anything with the way that it was structured. And that's now changed. Obviously, you guys could, there are plenty of athletes who are making a lot of money off of this now, even gymnasts who are making a lot of money off of this now, gymnasts who have competed at the Olympic level, who've been able to come back now and compete at the collegiate level. It's a big change to the sport. So do you think NIL is changing the sport? Do you think it's going to change the sport?
I think the most important thing is, you know, NIL is great, but the results aren't going to show up if you aren't doing your job inside the gym, you know, on and off the court, whatever it is. So as long as you're just doing you and you're staying true to who you are, I think NIL is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to utilize it. But
Right.
it definitely is going to change. I think it's just whether or not you as an individual are going to let that change the outcome of your performance.
Yeah. Just because you're making some cash doesn't mean there's any less responsibility on you to be a competitive athlete, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gives everybody an opportunity to just like be like, you know, you don't have that one athlete that's just the star. Like everybody is a star, and it's like you can see that now with this NIL like opportunity. And I think motivation is actually like a great way to describe it, because that's what it is, just to be better and to like, you know, help yourself move forward too.
Yeah, I mean, and to that end, you know, a lot of fans that we've talked to, and maybe not a lot, but with some of the fans that we've talked to have been under the impression that, you know, if you're a scholarship athlete, that should really be enough. I think the important thing that I want fans to understand is, what doesn't a scholarship cover? I think there's a lot of stuff there that it probably doesn't. Some of the things that it doesn't cover.
Well, generally it covers your rent.
Okay.
Then you have a little left over for, you know, groceries and like just the necessities. But once that's gone, like, that's it. Like, you have gas that you have to pay for. You have,
Right.
you know, just normal stuff that people with jobs can just use and live by that.
Right.
A lot of people think that since we're getting a scholarship or whatever that is, that we don't deserve more. But what they don't know is all of the behind the scenes, all of the hard work that we've done our whole entire lives, that we deserve just as much as anybody who has a job. Because like she said, this is a full-time job, and balancing everything on top of being a college athlete is insane. And, you know, like, I mean, being honest, and even people, like, obviously coming to school is hard, but if that's all you're doing, you don't have to worry about time management as much as, like, you have all day to study, but we have a select few hours that we have to study, you know? Like, it's just, like, people don't think about that all the time, and I think we deserve as much as anybody else.
Yeah, I think this is a touchy subject a lot of the times, because I think, like you said, when you're not one of those athletes, you don't really understand what benefits we really do receive. And I mean, we're not well off, you know, we're still we're still in college, we're college students, and we have rent to pay, we have car payments and gas and food, so we still have to get by, and I don't think by any means we are rich or well off. I still, you know, have to pay bills, so I mean, it does help cover a lot of those things, which is we're super blessed for that. But
we've never been able to have jobs, and it's not because we didn't like want to or we could have, and just like this has been our job our whole life. So once this job is done, like we're on our own. Like we have to make our own life for ourselves too. So
yeah. So to lean into something that you said there, you guys, it's more than a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
It's 20 hours a week in the gym. It's 15 to 18-hour course load, plus homework, plus projects. You don't have the opportunity to make even a part-time job a reality. This is your whole life.
And I know because I tried. It didn't work.
NIL, as we see it, is a real opportunity for you guys to supplement that, right? That you guys don't just have it easy because you're on scholarship. That there's a lot of opportunity there for the fans to contribute and really help you guys out.
Well, yeah, just to kind of bounce off of that, you have students who aren't athletes. They could go get jobs. They can go work all summer and make money and save up, and they can save up and they can work after classes. They can do that. We can't do that.
Or if you were a music student, you could write a piece of music and make money off of it.
Yes, like they have so much freedom that we are actually really restricted to. And not only can we not do that, we don't have time to do that. We don't have energy to do that. So I think this is really cool that it lets us kind of learn to create money for ourselves, where when we don't have the opportunity to go out and get a job, now we have the opportunity to work with a company and make money that way. So, and then that we can start saving up that and then go into the real world and see where that goes.
I think like even car insurance, like your phone bill.
Perfect examples.
Groceries, a lot of things that like, it does help a lot, but some things you still need.
But it doesn't pay for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If you were able to work a part-time job, you'd have a lot of cash for social life and phone bills and clothes and gas money and all of those things that scholarships are never going to pay for. Is that fair?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, just for our fans that are watching, if you're a gymnastics fan, you probably know this. But if you just love the University of Alabama and you want to see what we're doing, most of those fans don't realize that you guys have to make a decision very early. Are you going a collegiate path, or are you going the national team, world team, Olympic team? And you had to make that because of NIL. Because that just was a decision you had to make, because once you benefited off of your name, you couldn't go back. You weren't an amateur anymore. That's changed. That's completely different now. Do you think that it will change the calculus for these young women who are coming up, who are 12, 13, 14, 16, having to make these decisions?
Yes. Yeah, I would say of course, because one thing, when I was trying to go on the Olympic path and everything, and so it was a really hard decision for me at first, because if I wanted to go to the Olympics, I wasn't able to do, like you said, gymnastics in college, and it just changed my whole career. And if, God forbid, like anything happens and you're not able to make it, then it's a lot harder. So it's like a really big decision at a young age, and I think this will definitely help make the decision more broad.
So, with a deal like these NIL opportunities are putting in front of you, how does that change your life now? Like, what's the impact of an NIL opportunity today?
I think the biggest thing for me is, again, that personal branding. College is a time where you have to figure out what you want, what you don't want. So being able to engage and meet so many new people, networking, I've learned is a huge thing in life. Getting to know people. So I think with NIL, I've started to just kind of, dip my foot in the water, and it's been an amazing way to, just branch out and figure out who I am.
Yeah, it sets you up for the future too after college. All of these deals, like even if they were to end after you're an athlete, your name is still out there, like she's saying. So just figuring out what you want to do in college, this is going to help to figure out like, okay, maybe I want to do this type of thing, or like get involved with them. But this is all like after college, like you're only in college for 4 years doing your whatever sport you're doing. So I think just setting you up for the rest of your life is a huge deal, because it gives you that extra push that you're like, okay, now I feel like I have a direction that I'm going.
And that's, as we were saying earlier, particularly important for you guys as gymnasts, because there's no next level, there's no NFL, there's no WNBA, and frankly, it's very, very hard on your bodies. So being competitive after your mid-20s is very difficult anyway, right?
Yes. True. That's very true.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think like it was when I learned that this was an opportunity to connect with the whole team. Like I was was shocked. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, to just be able to do this, like, with everybody that I love. Like, they're my friends. They're not just my teammates, you know, they're my sisters. So it's like being able to move forward as a team and to have that opportunity to just, like, grow and move forward as a team, I think is really cool. I feel like as for what next year will bring, I mean, I can't really say. I mean, hopefully, like, we can grow and learn and just keep moving forward with everything.
Yeah, I think we do everything together already, so this is a great opportunity to continue doing that. But yeah, it's an opportunity to learn and grow, and yeah, it'll be fun.
I think that with NILs, everything is going to get more competitive. I think that they can see a lot of opportunity within that too, and we could even help them with the experience that we will now have with it and prepare them a little bit more. And I think that they'll also be like very excited to have the opportunity.
A couple more questions about NIL. You know, as you guys are thinking about it and the fan base is trying to understand NIL, if you were to talk to the fans, what would you want them to know most about the benefit of NIL to you guys as athletes?
I think that, I mean, as a fan, it's a way to connect with the athletes too. Like, we're out here, we are up on the events that you guys are watching. We're on the television that you guys are watching. And so it's a great way to be able, for us, to connect with the fans. And I love that part of it. I love that aspect. But it's also a way to grow in what I want to do in my future. And so 4 years of not being able to do that it's tough. But to be able to connect with the fan base and to just really create a brand for myself is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, we're just very thankful.
Got it.
I'd also say, like, we are thankful to our fans also for giving us this opportunity, especially like through CrowdPush as well. And you know, we aren't taking it for granted, and it's an opportunity that is going to set us up in, like, for more things in the future that we wouldn't have without the opportunity of NIL. So we're just really grateful and thankful and looking forward to the future.
And I guess I would just say that if you think about how much time and energy and money we put into the sport and the sacrifices that we made, I mean, I moved away from my family. I didn't go to high school. I lived with random host families, not really random, but like I didn't know them when I moved in. And I think people forget that there's so much of our young childhood sacrificed, and it's all to, like, for me, it was all to go to the Olympics. And then 4 people make it there, and now you've given up all this stuff, which don't regret by any means. I would do it all again. And you do all this, like, to go to the Olympics, and then that should be your life. That's kind of what you set up. So when that doesn't happen and you kind of just miss it, and then you go to college and you get your scholarship, it's like having NIL means that my name and all my work will be almost noticed in a way. And all those sacrifices, it's like, okay, I didn't just do it. I didn't just beat my body up for not no reason, but it's like people acknowledge and respect that. And companies see that, and they're like, we respect you. We are amazed by what you do, and we want you to work with us. And I think that that's so cool, because when you leave this sport, people don't always care. And it's like, well, shoot, what did I do that all for sometimes?
Yeah, it's like it gives us a little more of a sense of purpose almost to do what we do, because again, like before this, you know, okay, you might have went to the Olympics, okay, yeah, you were a college gymnast, yeah, you achieved this, okay, now what? You know, like it gives us, it's like it just gives us something more to do and a bigger reason to do it.
Just honestly, the hard work that we put in, we really want them to see that it pays off at the end, because we put in so many man hours, and it's basically like having a full-time job, honestly. So just for them to see that our hard work is paying off and that they want to support that, it would mean the world to us. So,
yeah, my math says it's more like, you know, a 60-hour-a-week job, not a 40.
Pretty much.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it's a really great tool for a lot of athletes to, like, help set them up when they especially graduate out of their sport. Like I said, gymnastics is done when college is over. So this is just like such a cool opportunity for us to be able to use maybe this money off of our talents and something that we've been working so hard for. Like you said, like if an English major publishes a short story and they earn money from that, like that's money they can use to further their career and like help them out. And it's a cool opportunity for us to do that.
First, thank you. you both were willing to support and represent both CrowdPush and the University of Alabama. What made you willing to do that? What made you willing to sign the contract with us and represent University of Alabama for CrowdPush?
Again, kind of how I said earlier, you know, it's not. I think this is a big opportunity for somebody who's like not as big of a name on a team, you know, because every team has like, you know, their couple stars, and I feel like this is something that was cool that the whole team could do together and everybody benefit from it equally, not just this person's a standout. This this is the whole team is getting represented, and I feel like that is like that kind of makes it worth it.
Yeah.
we all just start with a question.
I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
So I'd say like the first thing is just that you guys approached us as like a team, which is really awesome because we are not the most known sport. College gymnastics, I mean, it's really awesome. Like, we love it, but it's not as big as some other sports like football or basketball. But like, we work just as hard, and it doesn't matter that we're a women's team. You guys giving us the opportunity to work together as a team with your company is, I don't know, bigger than anything else I've experienced yet. So I think that was kind of one of the main things. And then also being able to kind of engage with the fans, and, you know, that whole aspect of it is super inviting.
Well, with most deals, you know, it's more of like a individualized type of deal, and then you see, like, it's not really a team-based thing. I love how CrowdPush is including our entire team, and you guys are including our fans to interact, which is really important. And you don't see a lot of deals like that nowadays. It's more just like a group of people or one sort of person, and it doesn't involve like our sport and our fans as a whole. So I think that's a really cool idea.
I think just seeing how much passion you guys have for getting fans involved in our sport that we love so much. So just to see that and see this opportunity that you guys have provided us, even as freshmen, and just like for all of us, the whole team. It wasn't just one person. I think that's really cool, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Good deal.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was that it was something that the whole team could get involved in, and like we're kind of like a big family, so it was just really special to us that like you guys recognize that this is a team sport and that everyone has a part to play, and that you offered this opportunity to all of us.
You guys are 6 days away from your first meet. You're a few weeks away from your first meet here in Tuscaloosa. You're welcome to look at the camera or not, up to you, but what would you want your fans to know? Like, what do you want to tell your fans right before the season starts?
Hey, we love you, and we would be nothing without you guys. You give us everything, and we do this for you, so thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and especially this year, with how last year went with COVID, we're even more grateful for you guys to have more of you in Coleman Coliseum. So in a few weeks, we'll be back again for our first meet at home. I can't wait to see all you guys there, and roll Tide.
Yes.
Roll Tide, baby.
See you January 21st. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
We can't wait to see you guys. You guys are a big part of what we do. You give us motivation, and we missed you guys last year, so we're excited to have you back, and we hope to see you soon.
Yes, we are so excited to have you guys back in Coleman, and we're so excited to just be in that atmosphere with you guys and just see all your smiles and hear all your cheers, and we are so thankful for your support.
And roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This is an incredible team. This is, of my 4 years, the absolutely most special. So you don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss our little team energy down there. Why not come to the meet? What else are you going to do?
If you have plans Friday night, cancel them or push them back. Come to the meets. If you don't have plans Friday night, now you do. Come to the meets.
Yes.
But no, seriously, this is a fun team. It's gonna be a great season. And honestly, the competition like across the country is like ramping up. I think that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
Is, you know, there's good gymnastics everywhere on our team, on other teams. So I feel like now competitions are gonna be close. You know, it's not like this team's definitely gonna win. It's gonna be like, no, like I wanna watch this meet. I wanna see what happens. So I feel like that's definitely something that y'all don't want to miss, and we hopefully will see you there.
Yes, we love you guys. We'll bring you energy, bring us energy, and roll Tide.
Well, we're just looking forward to seeing everybody in Coleman with our first meet. I think it's January 21st. Yeah, we're really excited for you guys to see our hard work that we've been putting inside the gym, and yeah, roll Tide.
Yeah, again, I'm so excited to see everybody there, and connect with all the fans, and yeah, Roll Tide.
Yeah, I'm also very excited to see everybody, and thank you guys for all the support, and yeah, I'm very excited for season.
Come see us.
Come see us
We'll
in
put on a
Pullman.
show.
Pull up. It's going to be a fun time. We're excited. We can't wait. It's going to be a good season. So, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.